In my last video, one of my cows jumped out of the fenced area, got into the forest, and I had to spend the day tracking her. This was Monday, and here are my famous last words. She is hanging out with my other two cows, and they're having a good time, so I figure stop pressuring her, I'll leave her. She shouldn't have any reason to spook and jump again.
That was a lie.
So I wish there wasn't a part 2 to this video. That slight grin is because I thought this was going to be no big deal. Little did I know. But when the wife was trying to get the cow used to her, it bolted and it jumped and it ran into the forest. So I am on a mission. I got help today. I got Nathan with me. It's windy, it's cold, it's howling, but we're gonna track this cow. We're gonna get her back in again, and we're gonna make sure she doesn't get out. So it looks like she came the same way she did yesterday. We've got old track there, fresh track here. And it looks like we're walking the same way. There's my footprints from yesterday. The fresh and old tracks combined. Except it looks like she goes out to the right this time. So she goes out this way. Let's find us a cow. She is a tricky girl because when you come in here and you don't got much snow to go off of, you really got to watch. Boom, 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 boom. Now it looks simple because I'm showing you on the camera, but I had to do a full circle around like I was looking for blood trail just to pick this back up. I got Nathan behind me and he was able to mark where we last had trail. And I just started kind of walking a perimeter till I found it again. So here we go. We searched for about 2 hours, ended up losing the trail in some dry ground. Waited a few hours till it was nightfall, went back out, found her. Here we are. We're walking back towards my field. Hopefully she doesn't spook. And she just listens to my commands here as we're going to go find my other cows. This is the calmest she's been with me. And yeah, it's been a long day for her, I'm sure. When we got her close, she ended up bolting into the bush. We ended up leaving her. Here's where I found her the next day. So she has been super elusive. I actually used the dog to help me find her in this northern side of the field. There she is hiding under the tree. And I've just got my wife, Mariah, bringing me some grain and a rope. I don't want to lose track of her, but I also don't want to go up to her with the dog here because the dog might spook her further. So I'm going to get my wife to come meet me here and then retrieve good girl Daisy. And then hopefully, if I can get her with the grain, I can put a rope around her head and I can walk her back. Last night she walked with me and she came all the way back to the fence with me in the dark, but I couldn't convince her to come around to the gate, and then she wandered off into the forest again and I had to leave her. And I looked for her for a couple hours this morning and couldn't find her. And I was getting nervous. Me and Daisy searched the forest, but Daisy brought me back to this corner and there she is. Like I said, I just don't want to go with Daisy. Daisy, come! Come here, Daisy! Daisy, come back! Daisy's chasing after something else. Daisy, come! Hey! Come, Daisy! Come on, Daisy! Daisy, come! Good girl, Daisy. Come on, Daisy. Daisy, we already found her. You don't have to keep looking. We got her here. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. I just got to keep talking to her. Keep her moving in the right direction. Now, every once in a while, she'll do a sprint and, hey, let's go. We just got to stay off to the side that we can get in front of her. So that she all of a sudden bolts back down that field. We can get in front and stop her and convince her to go the right way again. So I just like to keep talking to her. Oh, I spent hours chasing this cow. So I got my wife up ahead. I told her to go open the gate. Obviously, I didn't get the rope around her head. I had it touch her mouth a couple times. I was trying to trick her with the grain bucket, but she is skittish. She would spook her right away. She wanted none of that. So anyway, here's where an old straw pile went. Let's go. She's probably hungry, so she wants to eat here. I might be able to get the rope around her here. We'll see. So it turns out she likes to sleep in the forest more than the fenced area. Got her almost there, turned into the forest, sprinted, lost her. Here we go again, next day. I am just having the darndest time with her. We're trying something silly and basic, hoping she comes to smell the bucket, and we're just not going to move much. I'm standing a couple feet away from her. Every time I get close though, she sprints, and I can't get the lasso around her head. Oh, she's a tricky girl. I have literally been chasing this cow for days to try to get her back into my barn. Oh, it's times like this that you know you just own too much property. I saw some lynx prints in the snow. Now I don't think a lynx is a big threat to a cow, but I still don't want her out here. So I got my neighbor trying to give me a hand, and hopefully we can draw her out of here. We almost had her back, and then she spooked and just sprinted full tilt. You wouldn't think a cow could run that fast back into the forest. We're right back where we started right now. She's got good muscle memory that way, but we're just trying to get her out of here. If we can get her into the barn, we can get her barred up, tied up, grain train her, and just get her hydrated. I'm more worried about her health than anything else. We just got to get her back. Silly cow. It's been 5 days of this. Well, couldn't get her in with the neighbor. Took another loss. Next day. So an update to the cow saga. I managed to get a lasso around her, except she ran pretty good, and it chewed my hands up. She ended up going into the bush, so I'm trying to find her now, but we're still on the hunt. So here's a conclusion I didn't want. I got that lasso around her. She ran through the forest. I couldn't find her. Searched for her for a few more hours. This was on Saturday. I ended up leaving her till the night. I went back out, looked, found her. She still had the lasso around her head. Thought, great. I grabbed the quad, thought I could hook onto it. Well, sure enough, she slipped off the lasso. She managed to wear it for hours. As soon as I wanted to hook on, got rid of it. I think she knew what was up. She just wanted to return it for me. She's a gracious cow. So I ended up losing her into the forest and couldn't find her. Sunday comes around. I look for her. It was kind of a blizzardy condition. She was bunkered down in the forest. Couldn't find her. I spoke with my neighbor. He's the one who I bought the cow off of. And we decided to bring his herd down closer to my field, let them graze in my field for a little bit to draw her out. Sure enough, she comes out of the forest, joins with the herd, and happily walks back to his farm. At that point, we had to make the decision. He offered, let's try again in a month once she's calmed down a little bit. But a cow like that just doesn't want to stay into our fence, but's happy with the herd. It just didn't make sense to try to, tie a rope between her legs or put a wood board over her to stop her from jumping or do any of those things. Like, it just, she would have lived a better life where she could have lived for 20 years as a happy breeder. Instead, she'll probably get butchered next season. But we figured it was just best leave her with the herd. So now we're planning to get 6 sheep. Stay tuned.